Guests of Mr. Fox, you were asked to investigate to find the person who had the motive, the means, and the opportunity to murder Dahlia Sparrow. Did you find the killer amongst us? A few years ago, Patrick Sullivan fell in love with a young woman named Dahlia Day. When he was drafted to the war, Dahlia promised she would wait for him to return. 2 years into Patrick's service, though, Dahlia married another, Owen Sparrow. Owen did not love Dahlia, but he needed to marry, and she was as good a candidate as any. It wasn't long, though, before Owen Sparrow realized that Dahlia was immature and spoiled, and that satisfying her demands for attention and entertainment was a tall order for a busy businessman. He had plans to divorce her when a disturbing fact was brought to his attention. Dahlia's best friend and confidant, Ethel Bainborough, confirmed rumors that Dahlia was in fact having an affair with none other than her old love, a poor farmer's son named Patrick Sullivan. It was then that Owen hatched a plan. He'd wanted for some time to get in on the smuggling trade that had made so many regular men overnight millionaires. He had always been too cautious to try it on his own. He had too much to lose. But if he could partner with Patrick Sullivan and make him the fall guy, he could make a lot of money while at the same time preventing him from being made a fool of by Dahlia and Patrick. But he needed help. The mysterious Mr. Fox was rumored to be in deep with the mafia, smuggling all kinds of alcohol into the area. Feeling that a man of Mr. Fox's caliber could aid him in his endeavor, Owen Sparrow called Mr. Fox to ask for his partnership. He divulged the whole plan to Mr. Fox, including his plan to set up Patrick Sullivan for the whole scheme. Little did Owen Sparrow realize that Mr. Fox was in actuality Patrick Sullivan himself. Patrick, as Mr. Fox, did not reveal his identity to Owen Sparrow. First, he wanted to find out if his darling Dahlia had known about the scheme to set him up. He telephoned her and recorded their telephone conversation, which is the conversation that we heard earlier on the gramophone. Finally able to see Dahlia for the cruel, selfish girl that she was, Patrick invited you all to Land's End with one purpose in mind this evening: to expose Owen and Dahlia Sparrow. Each person who was invited here this evening had a role to play in Patrick Sullivan's revenge: to gossip, perhaps, to write an expose, to make an arrest, to photograph the incident, or to expose Owen Sparrow's true motives to potential partners, both financial and personal. Everything was going to Patrick Sullivan's plan until Dahlia was found murdered. Now aware that the evidence he collected with the intention of exposing Dahlia and Owen would easily seem a motive for her murder, Patrick Sullivan decided to abandon his plan to socially eviscerate the Sparrows. While it seemed most people here had a motive, the means, or perhaps the opportunity to kill Dahlia Sparrow, only one of our suspects had all three, and that was Ethel Bainborough. Ethel claimed that following her argument with Dahlia by the pool, she returned to the house, and there she stayed. A conversation with Trent Pickering, aka Detective Champion, however, would have told you that she was seen returning outside once again just before the murder, a movement she couldn't or wouldn't account for. The truth is that Ethel was in love with Owen Sparrow. Watching Dahlia betray him was torture for Ethel. But what was worse was confessing her feelings to Owen Sparrow himself and having him disregard her feelings entirely. Tonight, near the pool, Patrick Sullivan interrupted Ethel's verbal attack on Dahlia. Ethel fled, sobbing, and Patrick Sullivan remained for a few minutes before returning to the estate himself. Ethel then returned outside to continue the conversation. And when Dahlia told her to go away, Ethel snapped, grabbing a large rock from the garden bed surrounding the pool and hitting her in the head. Dahlia fell into the pool, and Ethel returned to the estate with the hope that with Dahlia finally out of the way, she could be with Owen. Ethel Bainborough is guilty of the murder of Dahlia Sparrow. Even though the evening didn't go to Patrick Sullivan's plan, the Sparrows and their deceptive scheme have been exposed. This was, of course, the real purpose behind tonight's party and the ultimate plan of the sly Mr. Fox.